Alright guys, before we get into the journey of the process of the game development, I believe I'm still new to you, to some of you guys, so let me have a short introduction. So basically, I'm a guy who's trying to create a 3D game, who is currently working solo at the moment as a game developer, and for the game you might ask, well, it is about the story of surviving his existential crisis, which is a mental health issue. And I think it is pretty cool concept if I say so myself. And now that I introduced myself in the game, let us get back on track and let me bring first the changes in the videos. Because right now, for those who don't know, that we are on the stage of game development where we are creating our characters for the game. And last week, we just finished sculpting the design, which is the first stage of creating a character. And now we just finished that last week. Now we move on to the next stage, which is retopology. What is retopology, you might ask? Well, retopology is just recreating the design using the quadrilaterals or quads. What does that mean, right? Well, it means that even though it's a sculpted design last week, we can't just use it at the moment because if we try to import it to Unreal Engine 5 right now, my laptop would explode because rendering it on the screen takes so much computation power, and to prevent that, we have to go through the stage of retopology. Basically, its purpose is to optimize the polygon count and make the game not lag so much due to rendering bottleneck. And I also want to mention that I am absolute beginner at retopology, but I have to do it because it is the only way forward. And for the changes, I think I would add a text in the day video to basically inform you guys what is happening in the screen. So not really a big change on my part, but it helps you guys a lot to follow what is happening in the video. And with that said, let's get back into game development progress. So I will see you in day 71. Alright guys, day 71. So guys, you already know the drill. Let us start the video by reviewing yesterday's accomplishments. So without further ado, let us get into it. Here's a clip of Michael talking about it. So guys, let me start off by saying what I just did yesterday. So basically what I did is finish sculpting the ponytail hairstyle of our anime schoolgirl character. Another thing that I added for yesterday is it was sculpted another variation of the eyes to make it later swap eyes later. And lastly, I started to work on the next stage of the character creation, which is retopology, but I'm not gonna show it as I said yesterday because it is still early and I'm just practicing on it. But so without further ado, let us review this. So here are the pictures so we can see what I'm talking about. So for the finished ponytail design, I think we can see the mesh is beautiful and I'm proud of it myself. Like we can see the hair strands taking its shape and everything. And now for the another variation of the eyes is for our game character is, I think we can all agree that it looks good as well. Like the shape of it kinda really reminds you of it comes from an anime or something, which is why it is great because that is what we are going with the design. And for the retopology, I will not explain it now because it's yesterday. So, and with that said, nothing else left to say. Let's get back into it, Michael. With the yesterday's accomplishments reviewed, let us proceed with the video. But first, let me introduce myself. Hello there, I'm Michael, who is a game developer and currently working solo at the moment with this project of mine. And long story short, we are in the stage of game development, as you probably see in the screen. And I'm doing something, and it is full of squares, and that is enveloping the scope we did last week. And right now, you probably see in the time lapse, we are doing a retopology or making some squares on the scope of the face that we just did on the previous week. And I will put the objective here as a reminder. And to tell you the truth, I'm actually a beginner in this process of the retopology myself, and what you're seeing in the screen is just a brute force trying, and right now I'm still learning about the process, but there's one thing we can't deny about it, and that is I'm definitely trying here. And even though it's a slow progress, just bear it with me here, and because it it only gets faster if I actually understand it, but that's not happening right now. And yeah, guys, that is all what I did for today, and with that said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, day 72 of making a game. So guys, you already know the drill. Let us start the video by reviewing yesterday's accomplishments. So without further ado, let us get into it. Here's a clip of Michael talking about it. So guys, I have to bring some changes into this review, but first let me remind you guys again that what we did yesterday. So basically, we started the topology on the face, covering the mouth, the eye sockets, and the nose. And here are the pictures of it yesterday, and I also added the reference of topology to compare to make it the review much easier. And because as we can see on the two have similarities between them, the rings of the mouth, the eye sockets, plus the nose part, and how it connects to each other, we can tell that even though we started slow, it is already there, and it's just a matter of time in order to become a master at this workflow, which is topology. And with that reviewed and nothing else left to say, let's get back into you, Michael. So with the yesterday's accomplishments reviewed, let us finally start the video. Let me put the objective for today here on the top of the screen. But before I explain what I did for today, I believe some of you guys I am still new. So let me have a short introduction about myself in the game. So guys, hello there, I'm Michael. I'm currently working on a game, as you can see on the screen right now. I'm working on it solo, and now you might ask, what is the game all about? Well, it is about you guys, the player, who will play a character who suffers from an existential crisis, and as the story progresses, the character slowly heals himself with enough time and reflections. And yeah, it is definitely a cool concept if you ask me. And now now that I introduced myself in the game, let us proceed to what I did for today. Basically, as you probably see in the subjective text, it is retopology once more, this time continuing yesterday's work. To explain the retopology once more, it is actually optimizing the polygon count of the mesh, and the reason is if we decide to ignore this step in the character creation and try to import it as fast as possible to Unreal Engine 5, we will have a problem and make my laptop choke, like literally choke, because there is so many triangle count, which is 1 million plus to be exact, and that's not happening, man, because the game would be literally unplayable at that point because it would lag so much just by rendering. And yeah, that's what I did for today, is that we completed retopologizing the face of our game character, completing the back side of the head as we can see on the screen. And yeah guys, that is all what I did for today, and with that, see you guys tomorrow. Alright, day 73 of making a game. So guys, as usual, let us start the video by reviewing yesterday's accomplishments. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So here's a clip of Michael talking about it. So guys, to start reviewing the accomplishments of yesterday, let me remind you guys again what we had done yesterday. So we continued retopology once more. This time we continuing yesterday's work, completing the back of the head. And with that said, let us finally start the review. I brought pictures of the yesterday's work and also add a reference as comparison to make me have an easier time reviewing this. And with that said, as we can see in the yesterday's work, it is kind of similar to the reference image. If we look at the lines of the quads of the yesterday's work to the reference image, the back is just the same. It's basically flowing mostly the same. And yeah, and this means even though I am just starting all, what I lack is speed and this retopology stuff. And with that said, and nothing else left to say, let's get back into Michael. So with the yesterday's accomplishments reviewed, let us finally start the video, and let me put the main objective of today's work above. But before I state today's work, let me have a short introduction about myself, the game itself, and I'm making, and where I am in the game development process for context. So here, hello there, I'm Michael, who is working on the game project of mine, and I decided to post my daily progress as you can see in the screen, and it is day 73. And for the introduction of what the game is about, well, let's just say it's about a gameplay about a main character who suffers from his existential crisis where his life is put in danger even though it is just all in his head, but it feels real to him. And yeah, it is pretty cool concept. of the game, if I say so myself. And now I'm currently in the stage of creating a game character where I have to create a character for the game, and that is what you're seeing here. And on the time lapse. And last week we just sculpted the design, but I can't use it right now to Unreal Engine 5 because if I do so, my laptop would explode if I have done that. And so that leads us to here, where you see on the screen. And also I'll mention that the main objective is, which is ray topology, that optimize the triangle count from I think 1 million to something lower, maybe even below 100k. We can't say that for sure, but that's what my guess is. And that's what I did today. It's already specified in the main objective above the screen, which is continuing ray topology process of the body, covering the neck, the arms, as well as the top part of the back. So yeah, that's basically what I did for today. And with that, see you guys tomorrow. Alright, day 74 of making a game. Alright guys, we're making some progress. Alright, the video. Alright, as usual, let's start the video. Start the video by reviewing yesterday's accomplishments. So without further ado, let's get it on with it. So here's a clip of Michael talking about it. So guys, before the review, let me start off by stating what I did yesterday, and that is continuing the ray topology process of the sculpted body that we have done last week. And yesterday, here's the list of what we covered. We covered the neck, the arms, as well as the top part of the back. And without further ado, let us review what we have done. So I brought the pictures of them here, as well as their own part references as comparison, so I have an easier time reviewing this. So for the neck, if we look where all the lines are going and compare it to the reference image, we can see that they are mostly the same. So I think I did a good job at it. So moving on, for the arms ray topology, I will say it's kind of fairly easy because it is all just a cylinder with bumps, and that is what I can say about it. And if we compare it to the reference image once again, we can clearly see it is also mostly similar too. And moving on, for the top part of the back, we can see it is mostly similar. It is just that I only did one side of the back, but just a different perspective of side. But still, as we can see, the lines are also similar on some occasion. It is just a different perspective of side. But basically, all of the quadrilaterals or squares are similar to the reference images, which I would believe that the work I am outputting isn't garbage. And yeah, that is all for the review. And with that said, and nothing else left to say, let's get back into you, Michael. So with yesterday's accomplishments reviewed, let us finally move on. Let me put the main objective of the top of the screen real quick. But before stating today's work, let me have a short moment of introduction about myself and where am I in this process in this progress for context. So, hello guys, I am Michael, who is a game developer who currently working on this project game of mine. And currently, guys, I'm working solo on this, and right now I am in the stage of game development where I have to basically try to create a game character, and that is what you are seeing on the screen. So as you probably seen by now in the main objective and the time lapse shown in the screen, today I'm continuing the ray topology process, mainly covering the chest of the sculpted body on yung previous weeks, as well as the stomach and the pelvis section. And yeah guys, that is all what I did for today. And with that said, see you guys tomorrow. Alright, day 75 of making a game. Alright guys, as usual, let's start the day by reviewing yesterday's accomplishments. So without further ado, and let's get on with it. So here's a clip of Michael talking about it. So guys, to review this better, let me remind you guys once again what we did yesterday. So here it is. I continue the ray topology process of what we have been doing now, and mainly covering the chest and the sculpted body of the last week's progress, as well as the stomach region and the pelvis section. And so without further ado, let us do this. Let's review this shit. And so I brought pictures of yesterday's work as well as references, image for comparisons to make it easier for me to explain this ray topology stuff. So let us start. So for the chest area of the character, as we can see, it is a circular pattern, and if we compare it to the reference image for the chest and where the lines are wrapping around the skull, it's mostly similar as usual, because I did reference my stuff on the internet. So, and moving on, for the stomach section, as we can see again, it's fairly similar stuff with the lines with a circular pattern as the chest. And for the pelvis section, I think we can all agree that it is also similar if we look on the lines and where it is wrapping around the skull. So yeah guys, that is all what we did yesterday. So, and to leave a note, because of most of our work is closely similar to the references, and not to mention the lines wrapping up around the scope is similar too, I think it is safe to assume that we are doing good at this retopology stuff, which is as a reminder on the day 70 of the series, I am completely a beginner to this retopology. And yeah, take that in mind. And yeah, with that reviewed, let's get back into you, Michael. So with yesterday's accomplishments reviewed, let us finally start the video. So let me put the main objective to explain what is happening in the video. And before we forgot, I believe so some of you guys, I'm still new to you, so let me have a short introduction about myself, as well as where we are currently in the game development progress. So here I go. Hello guys, I'm Michael. I'm working on this project of mine as a game developer, and as you probably see on the screen, here is the game progress. And now that I introduced myself, let me finally bring up what I did for today. So as you probably see in the time-lapse as well on the main objective text above the screen, so basically what I did for today is I continued this retopology process and did the leg muscle areas, and as well as the foot without the toes right now because I ran out of time. And yeah guys, that's all I did for today, and with that said, see you guys tomorrow. Alright, day 76 of making a game. Alright guys, as the usual style of our videos, let us start the day by reviewing yesterday's accomplishments, and without further ado, let us get on with it. So here's a clip of Michael talking about it. So guys, to review this better, let me remind you guys once again what we did yesterday. So here's what we got from yesterday. Basically, I continued this retopology process and did the leg muscle areas as well as the foot, but without the toes. So, and with that stated, let us start the review. So I have bring up the pictures of it yesterday as well as a reference for comparison once again, and for also for you guys to easily can follow what am I actually saying. So for the leg muscle area, as we can see on the picture, compared to the reference, it is fairly similar. And to tell you the truth, it is quite easy because it's just like arms, just as before. It is just a cylinder shape with bumps in them, so no complex edge flow navigation to it. So that's good. Moving on, for the foot without the toes, as we can see on the pictures, it is also similar to the reference images. Even without the toes, we can already see it is a clean topology just by comparing it to the reference images. And how closely are yesterday's work into it. So yeah, that is all guys, and with that said and nothing else left to say, let's get back into you, Michael. And with the yesterday's accomplishments reviewed, let us finally start the day. So guys, let me put first the main objective in the top of the screen. But before I forgot, I believe that for some of you guys, I am still a new guy for you. So let me have this short introduction about myself and where we are in the game development for context. So here I go. So hello there, I am Michael. I am currently working on this project game of mine as a game developer, and currently we are on the game development process where it is absolutely necessary to have our game characters ready so as we can. And I will tell you that a little secret. Why am I manually doing this? Well, because I am broke as shit. I can't pay people to create it for me at the moment, but it is still cool that I am now able to do this sort of stuff, but just by doing by hand. But once again, we are on the stage of game development where process and require me to finally have the characters in the game, and that is what you're seeing on the screen. But anyway, let's get back on track. Basically, what I did for today is continue the retopology process of yesterday's work and finally done it. The toes, as well as the knuckles on the foot. I don't know what the hell it is called, but yeah, knuckles. Let's just call it knuckles. So yeah guys, that is all I did for today, and with that said, see you guys tomorrow. Alright, day 77 of making a game. Alright guys, once again, let us start the day by reviewing yesterday's accomplishments, and without further ado, let's get into it. So here's a clip of Michael talking about it. So guys, before we review this, I want to remind you guys what I did yesterday. So basically, what I did is continue the retopology process of yesterday's work and finally done the toes as well as the knuckle on the foot. Sorry guys, I don't know what the hell it's called. So with that, let us start the review. So guys, let me bring some pictures of what I did yesterday as well as I reference for comparison, because I believe to some of you guys will not understand that what I'm saying when talking about retopology stuff. So here we go. For the toes on the top on the foot, as we can see, it is similar design to the reference images. What I mean is by similar is that the lines of the squares are similar to it and the flow of the lines, what I mean. So I think we did good on the toes retopology part. And moving on for the knuckle on the foot, you guys know what I'm saying. So I think it looks good too with the rings of the circular shape of it with the lines and all. So I assume I also did good at it. And to leave a note, I think I'm getting good at this retopology stuff, which I remind you on day 70 of the series I was complete beginner to this, but still I think my output is still slow, but we're getting faster with it. And that is all I got to say. And yeah guys, that is all for the review, and with that, nothing else left to say, let's get back into Michael. So guys, with yesterday's accomplishments reviewed, let us finally start the day. So let me put the main objective of today on the top of the screen. But first, I believe that I am still quite new to some of you guys. So let me introduce myself as well as where we are on the game development process for context. So hello there guys, I'm Michael. I am currently working on the project game of mine, and I'm currently working on this project solo. And now for where we are on the game development process, let me just say I am required to finally make characters of the game, and that is what is exactly you're seeing on the screen right now. And we are doing retopology or doing squares to continue the game development process. So yeah guys, that is all the whole context for now, and let us get back on track. So basically what I did for today was finish the retopology process on the toes as well as doing the hands next, as probably already seen on the time lapse and the main objective displayed above the screen as well. And yeah guys, that is all what I did for today, and with that said, see you guys tomorrow. Yo guys, I want to tell you something. It is something I learned a long time ago, and now basically this journey I am making supports that idea. Are you ready? Here I go. First, let me ask you, what do you think is the fastest way to learn a skill or acquire one? So here's my answer for you. Basically, in order to learn a skill or at least acquire one, you basically have to do an actual work and use it in your daily life. And one example of this is your native language. Is it just natural to learn it? No, basically we use it in our daily life, communicating with other people. And think of it like this. If I try to speak and learn your native language, would I have an easier time learning or speaking your language? Of course not, because I can't use it right now. If no one ever speaks to it in my environment, and it also implies to you if you try to learn my native language. So my point is that the reason I learned so fast is because when I try to learn something, I always engage to it within my daily life, like this game development series I'm doing. So with that in mind, I want to ask yourself, what is something you want to learn that you find hard to do? If you have one in mind, I want you to try this trick and apply it to your daily life. And it works out for me, and let us see if it works out for you. And before we finish the video, I really want to thank you guys for watching my videos. I really appreciate it a lot. And yeah guys, the reason I'm keeping this grind alive is because of you guys, plus how it aligns with my ambition. And yeah, and with that in mind, once again, try this trick to learn faster, because it helps me and I hope it works out for you too. And with that said, thank you guys for watching.